the IOPs and like rehabs, like yeah, they inpatient, any sort of inpatient or facility costs, like there's that facility aspect, right? And there's like a lot of overhead over it. And I think, nowadays there is a push towards telehealth, but even telehealth is getting kind of watered down. There's certain companies that like underpay. But I also see that like there is going to be a need for, telehealth and better behavioral systems. Yeah, behavioral system models. Because I mean, our future is becoming more digital. I mean, and you probably know this. There's people using ChatGPT for therapy now, which is like, it's like, how do you can't like tell people not to do that, but like how do you like integrate that into therapy on some level, so like people feel like they're kind of like cutting like into like new age of the behavioral health model, but at the same time still incorporating the human aspect of like therapy, and also maybe people in recovery. And so I think there's going to be a huge need for that.
Making treatment more accessible is what we need, right? We need it more accessible to more people. And
maybe more stuff in the algorithm of treatment and help than just constant chaos and violence. You know what I mean?
Well, and I think also
it's just wild
that it's a great tool for people, for someone who maybe still has a job and still has a pretty decent life, but maybe alcohol is having some problems on their body, or they just want to slow down their drinking or their drug use, whatever it is that they're doing. Like that's another population that isn't going to go to treatment. Like their life is still pretty manageable. They're not going to go to treatment, inpatient at least. And they're probably not even going to go to IOP. But if it was just something that was virtual, where they just met with a clinician once a week, or like if they had like a coach, like that's something that would be very beneficial to a lot of people. And it's not a thing that is really widespread available right now.
Yeah.
And so I think it would meet a pretty large demand for this field.
I think so too, man. I think it couldn't hurt.
Yeah, I don't think people want to be labeled as either going to like rehab or also like having to be going to like AA, Yeah, I hate to say it, but yeah, some people just don't like that aspect of dealing or addressing their alcoholism, or if they, whatever, maybe they have a light case of, a heavy bout of drinking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think if you're listening to this, if you're open-minded to help, there's many avenues you could take. Right, and us three in this room, went our own avenue. We don't have to share that avenue. But you already kind of mentioned AA. I went the AA route.
Yeah, I went through Dharma punks.